You should wake up in the morning, put your shoes on, get dressed, and go out and dominate. So the shark mindset is all about positioning you so that you can be the best version of you. That is your job. It is your job to reach your potential. It's not your mama's job. It's not your boyfriend's job. It's not your wife's job. It's not your husband's job. It's not your boss's job. It is your job. What's more important than you becoming the best version of you? I'm telling you, there's nothing else that's going on in your day that is more important than you becoming the best version of you. Hey, this is Walter Vaughn. Let me tell you something. If you want to be successful at the highest level, listen to me clearly. Most people don't know how to be successful, and I'm going to break it down right now. It's all about your mindset. You've heard about me talk about the mindset. You've seen all the video. You've probably seen the swag, seen the gear. Right now, I want to break down the shark mindset so you completely understand what it's all about, because I want you to be a peak performer. I want you to be the best version of you. So here's the question. Why should I listen to you, Walter? Great question. Here's why. In a previous life, I got a chance to play in the NBA. Man, there's only been like 5,000 people to ever put on a jersey. Now, granted, I played 3 years, got bounced around, but the truth is I got there and I made it. But I learned a lot on my way to becoming the best. I learned how to become elite. And after I left the NBA and got into the business world, my wife and I launched a very successful business. Within 3 years, we doubled our NBA income. We've been in training development for the last 25 years, and we're teaching everyone our tips, our secrets, our antidotes, and right now, I'm going to break down the shark mindset for you so your life will never be the same. So buckle up, lock in, and let's go for a ride. And I'm telling you, once you understand what the shark mindset is all about, you will be elite, you will be unstoppable, because I'm going to break down the formula. Now, sharks run the ocean. It's clear. Am I right or wrong? If you take your family to the beach, there's only one fish you worry about. Am I right or wrong? You're not worried about a yellowtail snapper. You're not worried about the red snapper, or you're not worried about a goldfish or a yellowtail or whatever. There's only one fish that'll tear your butt up, and it's a shark. So sharks run the ocean. Everybody's trying to be a boss, right? I'm a boss, I'm a boss, I'm a boss. Here's the truth. The only way you're going to be a boss is to move like a shark. Sharks are peak performers. They run that ocean. And so what we did with Shark Mindset is break it down, because you should be dominant on land. You should wake up in the morning, put your shoes on, get dressed, and go out and dominate. So the Shark Mindset is all about positioning you so that you can be the best version of you. That is your job. It is your job to reach your potential. It's not your mama's job. It's not your boyfriend's job. It's not your wife's job. It's not your husband's job. It's not your boss's job. It is your job. What's more important than you becoming the best version of you? I'm telling you, there's nothing else that's going on in your day that is more important than you becoming the best version of you. And I learned in my own life, the only way I made it to the NBA, I became the best version of me. Was I Michael Jordan? No. If I was Michael Jordan, I wouldn't be doing these videos. I'd be on some billion-dollar yacht somewhere cruising the world. But I got there. I played against Mike. I got a chance to compete against the best in the world because I became the best version of me. The best version of me got me 3 years in the NBA. So the best version of you, what is it? It might be a millionaire. The best version of you might be $100,000 a year. It doesn't matter. Your job, and the reason why God put you on this earth, is to have an impact and to become the best version of you. And I'm telling you, the way you're going to become the best version of you is by understanding the shark mindset. Sharks move different. Repeat after me and say it again. Sharks move different. I've been around successful people in business, in sports, in entertainment. Trust me, my wife and I get a chance to go into restaurants and country clubs and skyboxes, and we're rubbing shoulders with the best. We live in a country club right now. We got 6 billionaires in our country club. Hear me clearly. Sharks move different. It is what it is. So if you want to become a millionaire, if you want to hit it big, you got to move different. How you been moving is getting what you got. So if you want to get more out of life, you got to move different. And the whole tagline with the shark mindset is sharks move different. And we're going to teach you how sharks move, because I'm telling you, once you start moving differently, your life will never be the same. Let me break this down before I go into what I call the sacred 6. There's 3 kind of people you got to manage in your life. Are you ready? Sharks, suckerfish, and parasites. Can I break them down again? There's three kind of people on this earth: sharks, suckerfish, and parasites. Once you read our book Swim and get into our ecosystem and you become a guru, what we call a shark mindset guru, trust me, this is going to become second knowledge to you, because we're changing companies, culture, because they understand sharks, suckerfish, and parasites. A shark is a person who's motivated, who's focused, who wakes up and gets it. That's what I call a shark. They're a person who got it figured out, they're focused, they know exactly what they want out of life, and they attack every single day. That's a shark. A suckerfish is a little different. A suckerfish has potential. A suckerfish is moving, but a suckerfish is a person who needs a little guidance, needs a little coaching, needs a little mentorship, and once they get that support, they're gonna turn into a shark, all right? So remember this, sharks and suckerfish are great. In fact, every relationship you have, it's going to be fluid. Sometimes you are the shark, sometimes you're the suckerfish. I spoke yesterday. I told my audience, I'm a Hall of Fame motivational speaker, only 200 alive. But if I ever met Tony Robbins, guess what? He's the shark, I'm the suckerfish. If I meet John Maxwell, and I've met him before, he's a shark, I'm a suckerfish. For the most part, most of the other speakers I meet, I'm the shark, they're the suckerfish. But you get the point. Sometimes it's about you mentoring and sowing into somebody else's life, but sometimes it's about you humbling yourself and you learning. I spoke yesterday and I shared this story, and someone in my audience says, you know what, I know the CEO of Tony Robbins' company. I'm gonna introduce you to the CEO, and I'm gonna make sure that you and Tony Robbins meet. Cool. I'm human, he's human, got mad respect for Tony Robbins. He's a GOAT in my industry. But if I get to meet Tony Robbins, I'm not coming with an ego, because Tony Robbins is the GOAT. He could teach me a whole lot. So in that relationship, he's the shark and I'm the suckerfish. He's gonna be mentoring me, he'll be guiding me, and my job is to shut up and listen and take notes. So in your life, sometimes you're gonna be in the shark. But sometimes when it's time for you to grow and get to your next level, there's nothing wrong with you humbling yourself and becoming the suckerfish. It's a symbiotic relationship. They need each other. In fact, in the ocean, no matter how big a shark gets, it needs suckerfish. It's symbiotic. They work together. Sharks are vulnerable to parasites. If a parasite gets into the nostril, if a parasite gets into the gill, a parasite can weaken or even kill a shark. So a shark is smart enough to understand, you know what, I gotta recruit some teammates. I'm gonna recruit a suckerfish and they're gonna connect to me. I'm gonna feed them good and we're gonna go on free rides in the ocean. They're gonna connect to me and we're gonna go for it. And they're gonna eat good, I'm gonna protect them and they're gonna be safe. But suckerfish, I got one job for you. You gotta protect me from the parasites. If a parasite again gets in the gill or the nostrils, the shark is in trouble. So no matter how successful you get, you better keep yourself humble because you need people. And I'm telling you, if you're trying to get to the next level, connect to the right people. If you connect to the right people, it can be transformational. Any blessing you get from God is gonna come to another person's hands. God ain't raining nothing out the sky anymore. So successful people know a lot of people. Hear me clearly. Successful people know a lot of people. And I'm telling you, if you understand people, if you understand sharks and suckerfish, you'll be very successful. And never forget that. But there's a third group we didn't talk about yet, did we? It's a parasite. In fact, a parasite connects you just like a suckerfish. Only one difference. A parasite means you no good. A parasite shows up and all they do is take. They don't give anything in return. They give you no value. I speak to companies all the time and the HR directors just fall out their chairs because I challenge them. Do you have some parasites on your payroll right now? And they just say, oh, of course we do. Let me tell you something, man. Always be a shark or a suckerfish, but don't ever be a parasite. Parasites are those people who are extremely selfish and self-centered and don't care about you at all. They just take and they have no interest in giving. As you mature in this world, trust me, you'll begin to see the world the way I see it because they're sharks, they're suckerfish, and they're parasites. In our book Swim, we break it all down and it is crystal clear. But let me tell you this, it's hope for a parasite. A parasite might be selfish in the moment. A parasite might be selfish situational. Let me tell you something, if we're really, really honest, we all could be sharks, suckerfish, and sometimes parasites. Don't look at me like that. When's the last time you've been selfish? I can go to your wife, I can go to your husband, I can go to your co-workers, I can go to your peers and say, hey man, Susie, she ever been selfish? Oh, absolutely, she can be selfish. We all can be selfish. So with that being said, We all can be sharks. We all can be suckerfish. And trust me, we all can be parasites. Hopefully as we mature, we're like never parasites, and we're always making sure we're giving value and making sure we're learning, because that's the nature of a relationship. I'm done with the shark, the suckerfish, and the parasite, but you gotta read the book Swim, because if you get your hands on the book Swim, it's a great story, and I got mentored by a guy named Mark Victor Hansen. You better know who that is. If you don't know who Mark Victor Hansen is, shame on you. He's one of the co-authors of Chicken Soup for Your Soul. Him and Jack Campbell are some of the most prolific artists of our time. I spoke at a conference. Mark Victor Hansen was backstage. He gave me a hug. He says, Walter, you got to write a book about the shark, the suckerfish, and the parasite. And you know what I told him? I asked him a question. I said, Mark Victor Hansen, you're prolific, bro. You're historical when it comes to being an author. Will you mentor me? In other words, will you be my shark and can I be your suckerfish as an author? He goes, absolutely. I said, Mark Victor Hansen, you just met a 6'5", 260-pound black suckerfish. And he laughed, and I was dead serious. He mentored us on the book Swim, and there's no surprise why Swim is flying off the shelves. And literally, Swim the book is transforming people and it's transforming cultures. All the Jersey Mikes has gotten their hands on Swim. Everyone at Dave's Hot Chicken has gotten their hands on Swim. We just spoke yesterday for Prudential. Every leader at Prudential in the Financial Advisor Network got the book Swim. Let me tell you something. Get online, order it. We'll drop the link on this video. Get your hands on the book Swim. You're gonna learn about what we call the Sacred Six, and you're gonna learn about the shark, the suckerfish, and the parasite. Let's be clear. When I played in the NBA, this was the shark. Michael Jordan, absolutely. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. You can make the argument LeBron's the best. I'm not here to have that debate. I don't care, they're both GOATs in my opinion. They both have better careers than me. They both made a whole lot more money than me. So you can make the argument that LeBron was the GOAT. He's the best. Let's not forget he had a great coach, Phil Jackson. You will never meet a great player who is not connected to a great coach. We always talk about Michael Jordan, but don't you disrespect Phil Jackson. Early in Michael Jordan's career, don't forget, he was seen as selfish, self-centered, a showboat. The vets at that time said he might lead the league in scoring, he gonna win the dunk contest, but he'll never win an NBA title because he's selfish, he's self-centered. And Phil Jackson, a long coach, basically said, give him to me. Give him to me. And Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan developed a symbiotic relationship. Phil Jackson became the shark. Michael Jordan became the suckerfish. And together, they turned the NBA upside down. Michael Jordan transformed into the GOAT. He didn't start out that way. Again, he was seen as selfish, self-centered, and the veterans said he will never win a championship. And Michael Jordan, with Phil Jackson's help, proved everybody wrong and basically left the NBA as the GOAT. So that's the example. We had a shark, Phil Jackson, and Michael Jordan connected to him, and the rest is history. Michael Jordan had coaches before Phil Jackson. It didn't have the same energy, didn't have the same vibe. It wasn't as profitable for those two, and they both helped each other become elite. Come on, let's talk about Peyton Manning. Come on, let's talk about it. One of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But you can't talk about Peyton Manning without Tony Dungy. Together, they won Super Bowls. Together, they became champs. They have tremendous respect for each other. So when you're in sports, the head coach is a shark. The players are the suckerfish. But their job is to recruit, develop, and retain these players and coach them up and take them places they can't take themselves. And that's what a shark does. Once the suckerfish connects to the shark's job is to take that suckerfish places that they can't take themselves. And that's what it's all about. I want everyone to understand you can be a shark at any moment, any time. When it's time to be a suckerfish, humble yourself because it's a learning opportunity. But for the most part, what we teach with the shark mindset is that we all have the spirit of dominion on the inside of us. And I'm telling you, at any moment, we all should have the potential to be great white sharks and be dominant in every industry. You remember the favorite movie? Karate Kid. Are you kidding me? Who would Karate Kid be without Mr. Miyagi? He was getting beat up. He was getting punked out. And all of a sudden, Mr. Miyagi taught him how to stand up for himself and taught him how to fight. Mr. Miyagi was a shark. Karate Kid was the suckerfish. You get the analogy by now. So let's take a look at your life. Who's your shark right now? Who's mentoring you? Who's helping you get to your next level? But here's a better question. Who are you mentoring? Who's your suckerfish? See, if you don't have a mentor, if you're not mentoring somebody else, guess what? There's a good chance that you're a freaking parasite because you're selfish, you're self-centered, and all you're doing is looking for people to take advantage of. Here's the truth. Remember this for the rest of your life. It's okay to be a shark. It's okay to be a suckerfish, but don't you ever be a parasite.